very welcome to the show. We've got some great guests tonight. I tell you, I couldn't be more blown away if I'd been sitting on the roof of the O2. Big storms over the weekend. Eunice and Franklin caused a lot of damage. Now Gladys is on the way. Sounds like a plot from Coronation Street, doesn't it? I mean, I was fine in the storms, thanks for asking. I mean, I did lose a few bits of garden furniture, but it just makes all the more room for my new trampoline that arrived on Saturday. Remember, folks, in high winds, you really do need to weight those trampolines down with something heavy. Bricks, a concrete slab, or a cow. A cow would do it, yeah, whatever's near to hand. And did you see some of those planes trying to land in the wind? Oh, my God! This is your captain speaking. We're all going to die! Luckily, pilots have a way of preparing for high-stress landings like that. Hey, cheers! We're all going to die. But let's celebrate some much happier news. Here in England, every single COVID rule has been axed. I know! No more COVID press conferences. And Professor Chris Whitty couldn't be more thrilled. Ooh! Genuinely, that's the happiest I've ever seen him. And here in London, we no longer have to wear masks on the underground. And we can all go back to how it was before. Ah, aren't it delicious? Let's get some guests on! Later, we'll have music from chart toppers Regard and Years and Years. But first, she's the star of Afterlife, Motherland and Mandy. It's Philomena Kunk herself, the fabulous Diane Morgan! Oh, yeah! Yay! She captured our hearts in the international hit Normal People, and she's now starring in the horror movie Fresh. It's Daisy Edgar-Jones! Oh, yes! Woo! He's the multi-award-winning host of Drag Race and a global icon. It is the one and only RuPaul! Oh, yeah.
Hey, is this me here?
That's you.
Okay.
And he's wowed us with Sherlock Holmes and Doctor Strange. Now he's Oscar-nominated for his role in The Power of the Dog. It is the great Benedict Cumberbatch! Something for everyone. Welcome all. Before we do another thing, congratulations to Benedict Cumberbatch, Oscar nominated!
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's weird, you know, in a world of awards, that is, you know, it's still the one. Where were you when you got the news? Did you get up early to hear it?
I was in the right time zone, sort of, but everyone was ringing me. I turned my phone off. And I was getting my 3 boys ready for school. And I just turned my phone on and it got very angry very quickly. I said, what the hell are you doing? Why isn't your phone on? And then I had this very mixed response from 3 children under the age of 7. The youngest was a bit perplexed as to why he wasn't the centre of the attention. The older was going, have you won? Are you going to win? How do you win? and the middle one went, well done, Daddy, that's fantastic.
Oh,
great.
They're your favourite. Now. But listen, we say that. RuPaul, 11 Emmys now. 11 Emmy Awards.
How about that? Ain't that fun? I just wish there was a cash prize. You know?
Yeah.
Well, now, I can't offer you cash, but we can offer you another honour. You must know this. You know that there's been a critter named after you.
Yes.
Now, what is it? It's a fly?
It's a very, very fabulous fly, Graham. It's the most fabulous fly in the world. It's a fly girl. Yeah.
We've got a picture of the fly girl. Check it out.
Wow.
That's the fly on the right.
Yeah.
No, the entomologist, I think, is he Australian?
Entomologist?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that word.
Yeah, study of insects.
Yeah, okay.
I look to you, Luke.
I'm the authority, yes.
I don't know why I ignored Daisy and Diane there. I just turned to Benedict for my entomology facts.
I'm the authority.
He says, apparently the Opaluma RuPaul has a fierce look, legs for days, and a distinctive thorn tucked under its abdomen.
All true.
And it's a warm welcome back to Daisy Edgar-Jones. Now, I'm saying welcome you back. That's generous, really, because last time, where were you? In your bedroom or somewhere?
Yeah, I think you were balanced on my record player.
Because normal people, of course, came out in lockdown, so you had all that incredible success, but you're just stuck in your house.
I know, I was really surprised you knew who I was. I know we, like, spoke on Zoom.
Yeah.
But it never feels real. Like, you know, when you're chatting on Zoom, a little bit of you, when you shut your laptop off, is like, did I say words and did someone receive them? It's very strange.
And when did you get to enjoy your success?
Gosh, well, I feel like the last 2-ish months has really been when we've all been starting to go out a little bit more and not wear masks so much, and so I'm starting to experience it a wee bit more, because I was away all last year, so I kind of went from bubble to bubble. So, yeah, I guess these last 2 months I've started to kind of realise it and be able to see sort of the people from normal people and actually kind of celebrate together, which is really nice.
I wonder we'll get really tired of it soon, I imagine. I hate being famous. And first time welcome to Diane Morgan. Yay! And your fame, I mean, you're known for Motherland and BBC Two, but then Philomena Cunk, when people come up to you, do they think you are Philomena Cunk?
Yes, some of them do. And you can tell the ones that think I am because they say, "Are you all right? What are you doing here?" They say to me. I say, obviously, you've got to be somewhere, haven't you?
That is true. Yeah. And Philomena Cunk, she, when she was in the Charlie Booker Weekly Bible, she expounded on various things. And happily, we've found a clip of Philomena Cunk expounding on Sherlock. Have you seen this?
No.
I can't remember what I said.
It's all right. I forgive you. It's fine. Whatever it is.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Here is Philomena Cunk talking about Sherlock.
It's brilliantly made. You can tell all the people in it are really clever because they speak really quickly.
The cost of the repairs exceeds the cost of the hat, so he's mortgagely attached to it, but it's more than that. 1, perhaps 2 patches would indicate sentimentality.
Which is good, because it means they're not put off by the fact that no one actually speaks like that. It was like a film about a robot policeman, but on television. So it wasn't really a film, but it's so good, they should do a film about a robot cop. They could call it Robot Cop.
That wasn't that bad. I was expecting it to be much worse.
We cut some of it out.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's talk about a movie that Benedict is in, The Power of the Dog. It's out now on Netflix, directed by the great Jane Campion. And this is a kind of a side of you we haven't seen before. It's a departure for you. Yeah. Tell us what you can about your character, Phil, and the story of The Power of the Dog.
He's a very complex man. He's been running this ranch in 1925 Montana for 25 years with his brother. He was mentored by this amazing, iconic figure called Bronco Henry, who's no longer there. And the film really begins with this brotherly relationship drifting a little. They're beginning to go in separate directions. Phil's sort of obsessed with the past. His brother's moving into a new relationship in the future. And he brings into the story Jesse Plemons, who's brilliant playing my brother. He brings in the person he falls in love with and her daughter, Peter, and it then becomes a sort of
son.
Psychological... Yes, you're right, son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glad you've seen the film, so I clearly haven't. No, but
it was
yeah.
Peter that gave it away.
It was Peter that gave it away. So, yes, she arrives with her son, Peter, and it's just about the story of Phil becoming undone and trying to undo her and what that then sets up.
Well, listen, let's watch a clip. This is you as Phil being reunited with your brother, George, played by Jesse Plemons.
Oh, no thanks. Phil, they're ready for us next door at the Red Mill. Dinner time, boys. Let's get a move on.
25 years ago, where were you, Georgie boy?
With you.
I'll tell you. Chubby know nothing, too dumb to get through college. People helped you, fatso. One person in particular taught you and me ranching, so we damn well succeeded.
Bronco Henry.
So to us brothers, Romulus and Remus, and the wolf who raised us.
Bronco Henry.
El Lupo.
Bronco Henry.
so good. It's just terrific. Actually, everyone is brilliant in it. Have you seen it, Daisy?
Oh, yeah, I loved it. I'm a big Jane Campion fan as well. I love the piano, so I was so excited to see it. It's amazing.
Thank you very much.
And Jane Campion, she allowed you to kind of stay in character, but more than that, she encouraged you to kind of live your life in the way that he might have lived.
Yeah, very, very much so. And I mean, I sort of went off to do... basically, she was very, very secure about all the things I was insecure about. But she said, look, whatever you need to sort of feel that you have ownership of this very different lived experience to your own, let us know. And I went, OK, the banjo, horse riding, whittling, whistling, ironmongery, taxidermy. I mean, this man is masterful. He's a brilliant craftsman with his hands. He lives in this very brutal, masculine world, but he has great sensitivity and craftsmanship about him, which is a kind of clue to the inner turmoil of his true self as well. But to feel that and experience that, I went off to Montana for a couple of months to learn about what it's like to live on a ranch and perform all the things you see in the film.
And was it at the ranch you didn't wash, or was it on the set?
No, it was in the first couple of weeks of rehearsal in New Zealand. And, you know, this character wears his work on him with great pride. The mud, the grime, the sweat and the blood. And he doesn't wash, reportedly in the book, for sort of 3 or 4 months at a time.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he does spend most of his time outdoors, so maybe the wind is sort of carrying it away. But when you haven't experienced that in the 21st century, where we're all quite clean, and this is, by the way, just before a pandemic broke out, where we're told to wash our hands, like them singing Happy Birthday twice. It's a very odd character to be playing, someone who just refuses to wash. And yet, you know, that was a very important part of trying to authenticate who this person was and just feel that on my skin. And then Jane really pulled the rug under me by saying, oh, let's go out for sushi. And I was like, no, come on, in a rehearsal room, it's fine. But now you want me to go out into the world with this biohazard of a funk around me, just like reeking of something very odd. And there are people out there in the world who really want to know what I smell like. And I'm sort of a little bit self-conscious about that. Daisy, Daisy's going to experience.
You'll get this.
Yeah. That's why the lockdown was a good thing. But yeah, I was out there sort of having sushi and feeling very, very self-conscious.
When the waiter just like... you
not
served
observed, exactly.
And you mentioned this dude ranch you went to.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that dude on that ranch I don't know, but I do know a dude with a ranch. Step forward, a RuPaul. Here's RuPaul in his rancher gear. There. Yes. I'm not making this up. Where, Wyoming, is it?
Wyoming, yes. Yes. My husband inherited it from his family. It's
a proper working ranch.
60,000 acres.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big ranch.
That really, I mean...
And, of course, I'm the only one wearing, you know, fashionable Western wear. I go there and do all that stuff. But it actually looks like Africa. It's right next door to Montana, but it's a lot of work.
And where do you buy those clothes? Can you...
In Hollywood, darling.
Oh, OK.
New York City, darling. Harvey Nichols, darling. No, I love the clothes. I love all that, but no one else dresses like that there. You know, it's you know, Wyoming is the least populated state in the United States of America. The least populated state.
That's presumably because you own 60,000 acres of it. But do you cause a sensation when you're there? Like...
Yes, of course. RuPaul is in the town. We do. But, you know, usually George likes to go other places. If we have any time, he wants to go somewhere else, like, you know, somewhere fabulous, you know, so.
But, Benedict, now, the skills you learned at the Dude Ranch, some of them you have brought home with you. You had a cattle experience. Was that in this country?
Yeah, it was. We came back, well, sort of, I guess August or something like that, and in September I was in the countryside and we were trying to get to this beach and you have to kind of cross a field to get to it. And I came to the field and there was this really, literally petrified. I mean, they're like statues, this family with, you know, newly bought boogie boards, fresh sandals, you know, they're probably their first day there, just standing there in this field, just staring ahead of them. I looked and I was like, oh, it's just a few cows. And they're looking at us and one moved towards us with this child. I went, well, yeah, it's not... They're the young calves and their mothers. But you just have to walk through. No, they just couldn't move. So I just went, OK, right, fine, I can deal with this. I just sort of parted the waves of cattle, and they were like, that was incredible. Hey, aren't you Sherlock? And I was like, I'm Sherlock activity, but yeah.
Daisy, you were filming in a kind of a wilderness, a different sort of wilderness, a wet wilderness, recently.
Oh, yes, in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I filmed a film called Where the Crawdads Sing, and it's all set in the marshes. So we were filming in the bayous, and yeah, we didn't have any cows, but there were like alligators and cockroaches and mosquitoes like that big.
Moccasin snakes there as well.
Yep, snakes. Yeah. Black widow spiders. So yeah, lovely place to holiday.
Wow. And do they ship in alligators, or did you find them?
No, they were there.
Oh, right.
Ship them in especially. No, they were there. They were everywhere. And apparently, I didn't know much about alligators. I know quite a lot now. But they're not as aggressive as crocodiles. They're like opportunist eaters. So if you're smaller than them, they'll go for you. But if they're bigger, if you're bigger, they're too lazy, so they won't bother.
Okay.
So that's always reassuring.
It is reassuring. Yeah.
It's reassuring if you meet a small one.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
I did a film that I did 12 Years a Slave, and I went swimming in one of the bayous. I thought it was great because I saw loads of people going up and down on boats, and they had, like, you know, rings on the back, and it's fine, we can swim here, it's fine, it's not dangerous. I was swimming, and then loads of people started waving at us, so I was like, hi. And they're like, get out of the fucking water! What? You know, there are snakes here. And, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That sounds awful. And talking of filming in difficult places, where were you, Diane, that you were stuck on a boat?
Oh, yes. I was filming inside Number 9, and we were on a lake, on a pedalo. The entire episode is filmed on a pedalo. And the crew said to us, before we go out there, make sure that you've been to the toilet, because once we're out there in the middle of this lake, you're not coming back for hours. So make sure you've been to the toilet. And I was terrified because my bladder is the size of a walnut. So I went on Amazon and I bought some adult nappies because I was so scared. I was so scared of being that one person to go, oh, I have to go back, sorry. And although everyone has to go back, oh. So I went and I bought some adult nappies, and I thought I was getting a pack of 12, but in fact, I got a box of 500. They're still at the garage. I've got it on now, but I never deployed it. I just want to say I never deployed it.
OK.
On the show.
And have you laid down the 450 that you've left?
Yeah.
They're there when you need them.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Planning ahead. And Benedict, we must just say, it's not just you that's nominated for an Oscar. 12 nominations for Power of the Dog.
It's amazing.
I mean, and yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you know, it's... do you know what? Whatever happens on the night, that moment when you realise that many people whose work you've been profoundly influenced and impressed by and inspired by outside of this film, who've all come together for this project, whether it's Johnny Greenwood, whether it's our production design, I mean, just the whole raft of those nominations are so richly deserved, and obviously I'm thrilled that the four of us as a cast, as a group...
Yeah, that no one got left out.
No, no. And also, we're going to be fucking awesome on that dance floor. It's going to be great. No matter what happens, we'll be dancing.
The 27th of March is the Oscars. Good luck with that. And The Power of the Dog is out now on Netflix. Very good.
Thank you.
Well, from smelly cowboys to fragrant drag queens. Yes, RuPaul's Drag Race, UK versus the world. BBC 3, Tuesdays at 9, and iPlayer. Next week's the semi-final. On the 8th, it is the grand final. It's all hotting up. And, RuPaul, we often say, you know, the Drag Race is like the Olympics of drag, but this really is the Olympics of drag.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I'm looking at the picture of these. I don't recognize them at all. You know, they take the promo picture much after us filming it, and they've had all this work done. And I don't recognize any of them in that picture right there.
But you're right. They do transform after the show. You see them after the show. So why don't you like that on the show? Listen, I don't know if you've been watching it, but this week, Tuesday's episode, have you seen any of this?
Yes, I have, yeah.
So Tuesday's episode one of the best moments of television I've seen in a very long time. So let's watch a clip. This is the end of the episode when the winner, Blue Hydrangea, is choosing who's going home.
Okay. Blue, with great power comes great responsibility. Which queen have you chosen to get the chop?
Well, it's at that point at the competition where any misstep can send you home. We're all strong, we're all representing our own countries, and this is important to all of us. I have loved and followed this person's career for years, and they inspire me right to this moment. But tonight I'm sending home Pangina.
Honestly, if you haven't seen it, get on iPlayer. Because there is some crying that starts just then that goes on for, like 20 minutes? It goes, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I wasn't there that day. It must have been so stressful.
Yeah, I haven't seen this episode. I remember being there.
Just.
Yeah. And I remember the crying. I know that it was really, really tragic. It was really tragic. But this is, like I said, it's the Olympics of drag. So, you know, the girls are, you know, they've got their hopes up real high. And on this series, you know, the girls eliminate one another, you know, as opposed to the other series where, oh, I do it.
That's right, yeah.
It feels so much more like there are sort of dirty tactics going on, like removing competition. That's not the worst, just the one that might win it.
That's exactly how it works. That's why it's so gut-wrenching. You know, they've made it this far only to be, you know, slashed by one of their sisters.
But you're rooting for Blue, aren't you?
Well, then I watched Tuesday's episodes. No, I mean...
No, you turned.
It's hard, because I think Pangina's amazing, so it is hard, but I guess it is the competition, isn't it? It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah, just like Hollywood.
Exactly. Imagine the Oscars were like that.
In some ways they are.
That'd be great if all the nominees had a lipstick.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
I'll have a word.
And, Ru, when you started out doing drag, presumably...
Darling, we had to make our own lipstick out of blubber. Blubber and beet juice, darling.
But you must have done it because it was fun. It was fun to do it. But would you ever do drag for fun now?
No. No, this is what, okay, you know, I started out back in the early 1900s, and I would go out, my friends and I, we would go out, we would terrorize neighborhoods, party, no men's room was safe, because we would get crunked up and just all night long, New York City, baby, the 80s, it was crazy. And then, of course, you know, once I got famous, you know, all of that ended. It's a job, and because I became the grand dame of drag, that I had to represent. So no more men's rooms, no more getting into strangers' cars, you know, and no more, you know, double fisting booze in clubs. I had to, you know.
He said booze.
He finished the sentence.
Yeah.
He finished the sentence.
Definitely booze. I heard booze.
Yeah, we all heard booze.
Yeah.
And presumably, one of the other reasons why you couldn't just go out to clubs and things, because you now, I mean, it's so fabulous that, you know, how long did it take to arrive at this version of RuPaul?
About 300 years. No, it's been an evolution, you know. I did different phases of drag. When I first started out, it was, you know, punk rock, smeared lipstick, you know, gender F-word is what we called it, gender F-word. And then I moved into my Soul Train dancer look, which is kind of like a black streetwalker.
Because they're like, you haven't even shaved your chest or anything.
No, I was like, party, party, party. And you can't see it, but I have 2 drinks in my hand. It's right here, yeah.
But were you in a punk band when you were on the same... Were you backstage with Madonna when you were in a punk band?
The punk band was in Atlanta, Georgia, when I started out. But Madonna stuff, that was New York in the early 80s.
And was she like, a fan of yours?
No, she was a fan of no one's but Madonna's. Yeah. She's only a fan of hers, yeah. And still today.
Yeah. Didn't you audition for Madonna, Benedict?
Oh, God, yes, I did. Yeah, she just sort of came in breezily, very late, and had a clipboard in hand, and I said, yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, is that really your name? And I went, yes, it is, Madonna. I didn't get the part.
What was the part?
I can't remember.
W.E. probably.
It was W.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I can't remember what part it was in it, but yeah, I didn't. Someone better looking, I'm sure, got the part.
Because, of course, Drag Race now is all over the world.
Yeah.
Because you just came back, was it New Zealand?
We were in New Zealand shooting the Down Under version.
Oh, OK. And are you in a bigger studio this time? Because I mean, last time...
No, it's the size of a garage, the studio. But, you know, you'd never know it. And you know, we still have fun. The girls, it's a different type. You know, Australian and Down Under queens are very different. But it's so much
how are they
fun.
different?
Well, they're a little bit more, I'm going to get in trouble for this, they're a little more ratchet, you know. Which is great because it's, you know, I'm married to an Australian, and Australians have a great sense of humor, you know, and that's really what it's all about. We have so much fun.
Well, Drag Race UK versus the World continues on BBC Three. But now, Daisy Edgar-Jones brings us something a bit different. It is a horror movie called Fresh. It's available from the 18th of March on Disney+. And it's always hard to talk about films that have big plot spoilers. That's slightly a plot spoiler right there. But tell us what you can, Daisy Edgar-Jones.
It is a hard film to say, because I think the joy of it is coming to it having no idea what's coming. And that's what I experienced reading the script, and it really does take you on a journey. But I would say it's sort of a bold thriller about the perils of contemporary dating. That's one way of describing it.
OK, but people have fainted.
Yes, someone fainted. Yes, that did happen. I would say it's definitely not for the faint-hearted or the easily queasy.
I love that it's on Disney+. The world is changing. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's, to put us in the mood, let's have a look at the trailer, which may give us an idea of Fresh.
Do you live around here? Because I live on aisle 6. That was terrible.
Was kind of terrible. What's his Instagram? I want to stalk a little bit.
He doesn't have one.
Say what?
Yeah.
Oh, no. See, that's shady.
Let's play a game. Tell me something you don't want me to know.
I hate this.
Okay.
Put all our hopes of finding happiness through someone else.
Yeah.
Girl, you all digmatized and I haven't even seen this dude.
Tell you, but you're gonna freak out. It's about giving yourself over to somebody. Becoming one forever. That's love.
Oh, my God. That's scary.
And we did Sebastian Stan, your co-star, as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you good at scary movies?
No, I don't watch them. You know, I used to take hallucinogenics in my early days and watch a bunch of scary movies, and I have had my fill of it. So I just want happiness and joy in my life, you know.
Benedict?
Terrified. I terrify very easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like a vintage horror.
OK.
Like Peter Cushing, something with him in. Or a 70s horror, you know, like Carrie, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in about 45 years you can watch this.
Yes.
Yeah. What I always think, this is such a pathetic question, but making a film like this, does it creep you out? Do you get scared on set, or is it just another day at the
I was going
office?
to say, I really hate horrors too. But I don't know if you find this, but I think sometimes when you're making something that has, like, elements of darkness, you weirdly become way more hysterical. So it was a really fun job. Like, we were very giggly. I mean, there's a great 80s soundtrack, like, throughout the film. So we were playing lots of, like, 80s ballads and stuff off kind of, whenever we, like, in between scenes. But it is funny, like, our job's so strange. Like, you'll be having the most, like, banal conversation about the journey into work, and then you'll do this crazy scene, and they'll yell cut, and then you'll just be, like, back to talking about, like, the way into work. It's just such a strange job.
Now, we must spare a thought for your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edgar-Jones. Have they watched Fresh?
They have, yes. Actually, quite a few times now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they like it?
They did. My mum's very squeamish. She can't even watch, like, when people eat food on MasterChef. She gets, like, squeamish around food, which... Until you watch this film, you won't really know, like, how extreme it is then to watch Fresh. But I feel like... and she found she couldn't read the script. She found actually reading the script very difficult, but actually she really enjoyed the film.
And you've spoken about your parents watching Normal People, and that was slightly awkward, but... and did they watch all of it?
Yeah, they did. They did. My poor parents. Yeah, they did. Lots of tea breaks and things like that.
they paced themselves.
Lots of fast-forwarding. It's the joy of in modern TV. You can
yeah. But, and it was quite recent that you got to sit down and watch it with Paul, is that right?
Yes, yeah. Paul and India, who are both in the show, we watched it in the summer of 2020 when we were allowed to see each other.
And now, because it's still on iPlayer, this may come in useful. You developed a drinking game watching Normal People.
Yeah, we thought it'd be really funny to, like, find, if we were to play a drinking game, what the rules would be. So I think it was, like, every time Connell doesn't quite finish a sentence, because he does a lot of, like, Ariane, that. Do you have a drink? Or, like, every time she says, like, Connell, in a sad way. And then every time you see the chain, of course, that was...
Well, yes, yeah.
We were quite drunk by the end.
Because, RuPaul, what's the game you play? Is it Dirty Charade?
Dirty Charades, baby.
OK.
That's right. At every moment I can play it, I play. I love to play games. Dirty Charades is my game. You take a title of something and you just change one word. Do not change the syllables. You know, like the movie Shampoo. That's an old film. You kids don't know what that is. Yeah. Shampoo. You know, you could make it. It wouldn't be Shampooper. You could not make it Shampooper, but you can make it Shampoop. Right?
Yes.
Exactly. Because you haven't changed the syllables. So that's how you. Power of the dog. Power of the dog. Power of the snog. How the snog? Yeah.
That's good.
Snog is an English thing, right? That's
yes.
when you...
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Can you do one for us? Can you do an actual charade for us?
Okay, all right. I have to stand up for this. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Woo!
And you guys can play along. You can play along. I can do this. Okay,
It's a film.
Yeah.
4 words. Second word. Time. First word.
No time.
No time.
No time to die. No time to
No
die.
time to...
No time to die. Don't come in your way. No time to come in your...
Cry.
What? No.
Come.
No time to...
No time to... No time to...
yeah, but in American. Yes!
Yes.
Yes! No time to jizz!
No time to jizz.
Yes.
Of course.
James Bond, darling. When we play Dirty Charades, this is the universal word for jizz. You go, and you go...
Very different from the charades we played at Christmas.
Yes!
Don't know if my mother would have got that.
Moving on, let's talk about Diane Morgan's latest comedy creation, Mandy. Whoop up the Mandy. The second series is available to watch now on iPlayer along with Series 1. So for people who've missed it so far, who is Mandy?
Mandy is... she's a Mancunian woman with a beehive.
She is.
She's very sweary, doesn't like working very much, can't hold down a job, doesn't really care about anything very much.
And is it true that it's based on somebody?
It's based on 3 people.
And do they know?
No, they don't know. One of those people I was at school with, and she used to bite her gum inside her mouth. So I took the mouth from her. And the look from someone else, the walk from another woman.
And basically, in each episode, a lot of the episodes, she is trying out a new job.
Yeah.
And that sort of came from you, because you've had an extraordinary amount of jobs.
I've had tons of terrible jobs. Yeah, yeah.
Like what?
I think the worst one was packing worming tablets in a factory for 10 hours a day. You weren't allowed to sit down and you weren't allowed to talk because they said it would slow you down.
I mean, it's amazing that many people have worms.
They were for dogs.
Oh, OK. And were you fired from all the jobs?
No, I was only fired from, like, 3 or 4.
Did you like any of them?
Yeah, I did. I got a job as a dental nurse. That was a great job. But I used to sort of... I used to just drift away. There was a window here, and I'd daydream through the window, and I had to sit there with the aspirator, you know, the...
Oh, yeah.
That. And I'd sort of, like, just drift off. And the dentist would say, Diane, aspirator. Diane, aspirator. Diane, so I'd come to and I'd shove it in the mouth, and I knocked someone's tooth off.
No way!
Well, they were in the right place.
Exactly. They glued it on, they didn't know.
All right, let's watch a clip. This is Mandy, and she's back at the job centre.
So the job would be to assist a sewer technician, also known as a flusher. Your job would be to be part of the team responsible for clearing and cleaning the sewers of fatbergs, massive globs of congealed fat and waste. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in doing?
Does it, fuck?
You'd be working in the evenings on a 4-hour shift.
What, just 4 hours?
Well, yeah, you'd be working alone most of the time, just guarding the sewer. So they're saying this needs to be someone who's able to stay occupied whilst on duty.
Occupied? What does that mean? What, just like stay awake?
Yeah, that's the minimum that's asked of you. They don't set a lot of hurdles for people who want to work in sewage.
Right, well, I'll take it.
Well, hang on, you need to meet the manager first, and then he'll decide whether or not to take you on.
Right, fine, we'll book me in.
OK, you will wear something more appropriate, won't you?
What do you mean?
Well, it's just very...
Hey, eyes up, eyes up.
I'm not...
I'm up here, hello.
I wasn't...
You mocky devil. A good man to report you. Others might come forward.
Tom Bassett there, to be with you. And that is a great outfit. I don't know if that's one of the... But you could put costume designers out of business because you came up with a very clever idea.
Yes, I got all her clothes from one woman who was having a clear-out on eBay. It's great because then the clothes are all consistent. They were all like that. I wonder if she'll watch it now and go, that's my top, that's my... Yeah, it's such a great idea, isn't it?
No, it is, because the character is then complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing, a fatberg?
A fatberg, yeah, they're called
Fatberg.
fatbergs.
What is a fatberg?
Well, it's like an iceberg, but made out of fat and shit.
You did ask, Daisy. Oh, dear. Right, it is time for music. Take one superstar DJ, mix with one of our brightest pop stars, and you get the hit dance anthem, Hallucination, performed for us now by Regard and Years and Years!
You must be single, that must be why. You sent me some poem the other night. That's just confusing, I have to say. Oh, you have got some nerve talking that way. Yeah, turn it up to let me know how it feels if us a go. I'm sorry, but we've done this all before. It's just another show, another story to be told. I'm foolish, I believed you, but now I know. Don't try to impress me, I know you're intending to hurt me again. You look like a vision, but now I'm beginning to see through the haze. Don't be so fake. Oh, your love pretending to hurt me again. You look like a vision, but now I'm beginning to see through the haze. Don't be so fake. Oh, your love is a hallucination. Don't be so fake. Oh no, your love is a hallucination. Don't be so fake. You're not fooling anyone. Don't be so fake. You're not fooling anyone.
Years and years regard! Backing vocalist, come on over, Ollie. Great job. Well done, sir. Thank you very much. Have a seat, too. There's a nice drink for you. Ollie. Thank you very much for that. And thank you to Regard over there. Yeah. There he is. Woo. Is he shy, Ollie?
He's a silent type, but very cool.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough, yes.
We love you, Regards.
Thank you, love you too.
Oh, he spoke. I heard his voice. That's the current single, obviously.
Yes.
Yes, very good. And it's out now. And so how did this happen? How did you... Is Regard your upstairs neighbour? How did this happen?
No, I wish. Yeah, this is how we live, like, we didn't below him. It was a song I wrote, actually, years ago in 2019, but I never got to finish it, never got to put it anywhere. And Regard heard it and did his own version with it, brought in a sample, made it sound all sexy and different. So it came out as a collaboration. So very happy, very excited.
Oh, well, it sounds great. I mean, yes, I mean, I wouldn't be in a club, but it sounds like, you know, if you want to go to a club, it's the sort of thing you'd like to hear there. Yes, it is. Now, here's an odd thing. I don't know if you know this. You and Ollie have worked together.
No. Have we?
Actually, yes. I'm sure
I
you won't
watched you,
remember.
and it's a sin. You were just extraordinary.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
It's really such a better work.
Thank you. I'm sure you won't remember this. You were doing your lines for Madagascar, the Penguins Madagascar movie.
Yeah.
And you came to a studio in London to do your lines, and I read opposite you as all the other characters.
I do remember. That was you.
No, you don't remember.
Because the whole other time there was no one else in there. That was the only day I read with anyone on the entire film, so I do remember.
Oh, really? I mean, you were amazing. It was such a fun experience because I'd never really done anything like that, and so it was really interesting, actually.
Oh, mate,
so I loved
thank
it.
you.
But yeah, there you were,
nice to see
Benedict
you again.
Cumberbatch, and now you're here.
Reunited. So, you've worked with Benedict. I know you'd like to work with RuPaul.
I mean, can I just say it's an honour to be in the same room as you.
Oh, that's very kind.
Thank you for everything you've done. So, yeah, I'm such a huge fan, and yeah.
Thank you so much.
Please, can I come on your show one day?
Yes, next week, your book.
Yes!
You've worked with some of the queens.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. We had, I did a big New Year's Eve show on the BBC. Yes, and we had the 4 queens from last year.
Well, there's an ointment to clear up anything that may have popped.
Yeah, there they are, look at them.
There they are.
They were amazing. Just so brilliant, yeah. So.
And it was a lovely show. You rang in the new year on the BBC, but there were complaints.
There were a few complaints.
Yeah.
I was too sexy.
I know. Sexy. Inappropriate for New Year's Eve. You don't want sexy on New Year's Eve.
It was too sexual, apparently, for some viewers at home. And I'm very sorry to be that sexy.
To be too...
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yeah. Ollie has had years and years of going on tour.
We're going on tour, yes. In May. Please buy a ticket.
Oh, that's soon.
Please. Yeah, in May, yeah. In the UK. The show's really good. I promise it's going to be a great time. Go and buy a ticket, yeah.
Oh, it'd be really sexy. Yeah.
And very sexy.
Yeah, very sexy.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, good luck with that single and the tour. Years and years of regard, everybody! Woo! Okay. Okay, that is nearly it. Before we go, just time for the last visit of the series to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Kendall.
And where are you from, Kendall?
Originally from California, but I am living in London now.
Okay, what do you do here?
I'm a vet.
A vet?
Yes.
Oh, this would be a lovely story. This would be
Yeah.
lovely. Do things die in this story?
No, not this one.
Okay, good.
No.
Excellent. Well chosen, Kendall. Okay, Kendall the vet, off you go.
So something I see quite often at work is dogs eating things that they should not be eating. So a few months ago, a woman brought in her pet who had eaten something off the bedroom floor. And she brought it in. What we normally do is make them sick to bring it up. So we bring her dog through the back, give it an injection, and it then proceeds to vomit up an entire used condom.
We've all been there. I mean, I can't say too much, but that would have come out the other end.
Awful. The funniest things.
Who's up next? Hello.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, what's your name?
It's Matt.
Matt, lovely. And what do you do, Matt?
I'm a postman.
Okay, and where do you deliver the post?
In Somerset, in Taunton.
Okay.
Did you say Matt or Pat?
Matt.
No, Matt, yes. In Somerset. None of us live in Somerset. We're all safe here. Okay. Off you go with your story, Matt.
OK, Graham, so after about 6 weeks on the job, I knocked at a customer's door, and the door opened, but there was no one there, just a hand peering round the door. I said, excuse me, I've got a big package here for you. At to what point the lady, it was definitely a lady, because the voice said, oh, quick, come in, quick, before the neighbours see, just come in. And I was like, no, excuse me, I've got a big package to delivery.
That was just fan fiction. It was Postman Pat's fan fiction. He's going to watch this back and wank furiously. No time to... That really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go in the red chair yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via website. This is their address. Please say a huge thank you to all of my guests tonight. Regarding years and years. Diane Morgan. Daisy Edgar-Jones. RuPaul. And Benedict Cumberbatch. That is it for this run, but do join me over the next 2 weeks for a look back at some of the highlights of the past series. We'll be back in the autumn, but till then, stay safe. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.